Is this the first time he's been away from home? No? Okay. Good, and you just been walking? Okay. All right, just hold 1 second. Hi, buddy. Hi, oh, I know. Very worrisome, huh? Okay. Okay, try, even though he's obviously looking around quite a bit, try to be just a little more following of both your reins. Try to always keep an even contact on both sides of his mouth. And if you feel like he starts to pull into one rein more than another, try to soften that rein a little bit and take just a bit more contact on the rein that he drops. So you're always trying to create the softest, most even contact, certainly on an off the track horse, that you can find. And not always so easy with them. And I also want you to think about in your own position on a horse that wants to get a bit strong in the front and a bit uneven in the front, where you see his shoulders want to go side to side and he wiggles a lot off the track and doesn't stay so straight. You get a bit tight in your upper body and a bit tight in your legs. So I want you to feel like you sit down a little bit more and sit back a little bit more. Relax your seat and relax your leg. So he doesn't find any tension in your seat and leg to help him get more tense. And that when you use your leg, you can use it and relax it and feel like you get an answer, as opposed to having tension all the time in your legs or tension in your seat, and then just creating more tension from that. Use an aid, relax the aid. So he really understands there's a clear set of aids, a new set of aids for him that you're going to start to develop in his training. Good. And again, shoulder blades more together, hands a little softer following his mouth, so that he has a chance to relax his neck a little bit more. And most of the time, our first reaction with a horse that wants to pull up or get a little braced in the neck and in the mouth is to pull back. And I want you to think, particularly with him and the past training that he's had, that your reaction to that is to soften. And the more relaxation you can create between your leg, your seat, and your rein, the more relaxation he'll be able to find. Good. And he'll start to relax there. That's very good. Relax his neck and relax his top line. Very good. And I want you to think also, the first thing he disconnects from when he wants to look at something or fall off the track is he disconnects from your leg and your seat. The first thing it makes us want to do is pull back on the rein. So think that like there, when he looked a little bit towards the hay barn, he pushed against your right leg first, and then he raised his head and neck, which in your response was to take back on the inside rein. So I want you to think again. I want you to soften both reins a little bit, and I want you to only close your right leg. Only give him one aid. And then relax the aid. Don't keep it on. That's a good boy. Soften your hands again. Follow more. Let his neck down. Yep. And because he's not that broke yet, per se, make sure your aids are clear. Like there, it's fine if you're a little firmer. You give him a little tap with your stick behind your right leg, but soften your hands. Right. If you only want him to go towards the track, try to lead him towards the track with your body and your leg, not with your hands. And look for a good moment when he's got his neck a little more relaxed and your hands are following, and he's a little more elastic in the contact, to go to the trot. But only go when he's relaxed in his neck and back, not when he's above the bit. Soften both hands again. Follow his nose a little bit more. Follow his neck. That's pretty good. Could have maybe been a little bit softer in his neck, but that was all right. And same thing there. Our first instinct is to go and brace a little bit in our lower arms and wrists when a horse goes above the bit. Find the balance in your own body, in your position, in your posting tempo, to be able to relax the contact and maintain your own balance without the reins. Soften the hands more. That's it. Especially on an off-the-track thoroughbred, the more pressure they feel in their mouth, the more they're trained to go against it, to run against it, to use their speed against it. So be sure that you don't buy into that old training of his by maintaining so much contact on the reins all the time. Soften. Every opportunity you have, soften the contact. And slow your posting down a little bit. Nice, relaxed tempo. The very, very first thing on the training scale that we always have to remember, rhythm. You have to find his very basic, natural rhythm that's in there. Good. A rhythm and a tempo that he's able to relax his back, to find balance, and to find the ability to go on the bit. Soften the hands again, soften. Soften the hands again. Good. And a halt transition. Oh, no problem. Good. Just get, yeah. And halt. Now, just ask him to soften a little bit down on the right rein. Only one rein. It's all right, buddy. And then a little soften on the left rein. Oh. And now it's hard for them to just stand and give, but it's all right, buddy. Keep working on the fact that he can stop and relax, and he can yield to pressure. You're only asking him one thing. Soften to the bit. And it's something he has to understand. If he doesn't understand to soften to pressure, you can go for months and years and have him still be against the bit. Oh. Oh, oh. Good boy. Good boy. A little more down the left rein. That's it. That's a good. And then walk and then trot off again. Hi, buddy. And be very mindful of the age you give. And that's one of the most important things Stefan and I in our training, both with ourselves and our client horses, that to be clear with your horses is the very best thing you can be. In the clear application of your aids, knowing what you expect from the aids, getting it done, and leaving the horses alone. If you're constantly on his mouth every stride or every other stride, and there's not a clear difference between when you ask for an aid with the hand, which in this case is just to yield, that's all you're asking. He yields, you give a little bit. And you ask him to give enough that you feel like you can leave him alone for 4, 5, 6, 7 strides without having to go back to the rein again. Same thing with the leg. If you ask him to yield from the leg, either to go sideways or to go forward, you have to feel like you ask, he answers, you become more passive with your leg. If your leg is asking every stride, push, 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 he doesn't understand what's an aid and what's not an aid. So like there, if you want to ask him to flex to the right, take a little feeling on your right rein, ask him to yield to the right rein. And don't give back until he yields a little bit. Be clear. Right rein, little flexion right, just a little. That's better. Take him on a circle here. Good. Take him on a circle. And a little flexion right, not a lot. If you ask for a lot with him right now, he's just going to fall out of the circle, which he's doing a little bit with his hips right there. Outside leg guarding a little bit. Flex him right and be able to soften. It's all right, buddy. That's a little better. Good. Flex him right again. And be able to give. Clearly give when he gives a little bit. So he understands he did the right thing. right, bud. Good. And since he's wanting to drift a little bit, as you come to center line over here, track to the left on a circle. So you fix a little bit the drift against that left leg. Or on this side, track to the left on a circle. Indicate with your left rein. Good. Change rein out of your circle to the left. And same thing, be clear with your aids. He should not be going and going and going with his head in the air and you having pressure on the bit and having nothing happen. If there's pressure on the bit, something has to happen. You have to realize, and same thing, that if there's pressure on both reins, give a little bit on one and take a little bit on the other so there's some kind of direction for him to let go of at least one of them. That was better, like that. Good, there you go, well done. And be able to give. That's a good boy, good. And when he gets crooked, like there, he wants to push a bit on that right shoulder every time you take the left rein, give him a little squeeze with your outside leg. Remind him that taking his nose left doesn't mean his right shoulder should go to the right. And that being tactful enough in your own feeling between your two reins is what will make the difference between him having the desire to go on the bit or going inverted around the arena. You take a little feeling left and you feel him lock up against both, give a tiny bit on your outside rein. 1/4 of an inch means a lot to him. Hardly anybody else can see it, but it means a lot to him in his mouth. Again, take a little left, give a little bit in the right. That's it. Good. Give him some place to go. That's a good boy. You have to have feeling in the contact. Know when's the right time to give, know when is the right time to take. Good. And again, take a little more left, give a little bit on the right. Don't let him lock up against both. That's a good boy. Good, and I like the tempo better here too. That's a good man. Good. Change direction again, and I want you to think of that same feeling between both reins as you change direction. Indicate on the right rein you'd like him to turn right. Give a little bit on the left rein, as that's a good boy. Take a little right, give a little left. Not that you're throwing anything away, it's having feeling in the contact. Every horse you have to do that with? No. With a horse that wants to invert so strongly against both reins, it's usually a good idea. And again, take a little right, give a little left. Don't let him just press against both reins. Hold the feeling right, take or give a little left. Gently hold it right. Give left, give on the outside. A little more. He'll come down if you give a little more. That's it. Take a little right. Give a little left. Good, circle, and same thing. Give a little more on the outside rein. Control his body with your outside leg. That's better, well done. Good, good, good. There, good boy. Usually if you give them a chance to understand no matter what the prior training was, they'll get it. But if the aids aren't clear enough in exactly what you're asking, it can be a struggle for quite a long time. Good, and again, take a little more right rein, give a little more left rein. Good, that's it, that's all right. You're a good boy. Good, give a little more on the left rein again. That's a good boy, good. There, and you develop then, and your ability to be softer than he's desired to be soft. That's a good boy. You develop a better feeling between both reins and more elasticity on both reins. If you give him the chance to lock up on both, he certainly will do that. Good, chain rein across your diagonal. And think as you start to approach K, as you're going to indicate to him to turn left by squeezing your left rein. And I want you to just slightly soften on the right rein as you indicate on the left. If he threatens to go up against it a little bit, soften it a little bit more. Take a little left, give a little more right. That's a good boy. Good. Same thing, take a little left, give a little right. Good. Give right, don't pull on the right. If you're gonna tap him and he loses his balance and you take back on the reins, that's not the right time to take back on the reins. It's in that moment, very good. In that moment, it's your job to keep your own balance when he loses his. Good, give a little right again. That's it. And that's sometimes something that we get so, talk about the outside rein all the time. Outside rein, outside rein, that's great if the outside rein has purpose and it's elastic and it does its job. If the horse just learns to go against the outside rein all the time, it can't have a job. It's only there for the horse to lean on. So he has to learn that that outside rein is not for him to lean on. It's his job to find his balance with your direction. Take a little left, ask left flexion, give a little right again. Only the left rein. That's it. Good. Good. Ah, you're a good boy. Good. And then soften the left rein a little bit. Right. Good. On a horse that, well, for all horses, but on a horse particularly that learned to be so against the bridle, you have to create a really positive reason for him to be soft. That's a good boy. And to be relaxed and to be elastic when he wasn't taught that to start. Good. Take a little more left again. Give a little right. Just the left rein. Keep him straight with your outside leg. Left rein, right leg. Give your right. That's a good boy. Good. Good. Give your left now. Good. See if he'll take his neck down. Give your left hand. Give it more. Still not giving. Good. Give more again on the left. That's it. Very good.